Okay, guys, I've had inboxes asking if I'm going to talk about this. I've had a few people ask me why I haven't talked about this. We're going to get into it. The BC ostrich farms, and my opinion and take on the whole ordeal. Ever since the beginning, I've kind of stayed quiet. I did share maybe one post on Facebook about it. But I'm going to say, ever since this whole thing started, it just hasn't sat right with me. I know some people don't know much about it, just the basics, but there has been a lot of things surfacing about scandals and lying and the owners of the farm taking people for money, like millions years ago. Them saying that these are their pets and they don't use them for eggs or meat or anything like that. But then the truth has surfaced that they did. And then there's the whole ordeal about them saying that their birds are healthy, but then a lot of their birds were sick and some did die. And there's just, the whole thing has been really, really sketchy. And you can believe what you want, you can have your opinion, but there's just some things that are just not right. And we're going to get into it. I came across an article today. And I don't know how I feel about the whole thing, like the whole ordeal. But this just made me feel an even different way. So let's get into it. RCMP investigate alleged assault of woman who lives beside the BC ostrich farm. The RCMP are providing round-the-clock protection for Lois or Louis. I don't know how. We'll just say Louis. Lois. I don't know. Lois Wood, a 72-year-old Edgewood, BC resident who lives next to Universal Ostrich Farms after a masked man doused the woman, so maybe it's Louise, we'll call her L, in gasoline and punched her in the face. According to police, the suspect they arrested is associated with the protest camp at UOF, where dozens of people have gathered to demonstrate against the culling of more than 300 ostriches following an outbreak of avian flu last December. The police investigation comes as the Supreme Court will decide later this week if it will hear an appeal by UOF to overturn an order by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to euthanize the birds. In her only interview, Wood told CTV News that she was scared but felt compelled to speak out for the other residents of Edgewood who are being intimidated by the strangers who have invaded their quiet community. Everybody's scared. The only reason I'm talking right now is because I have a 24/7 serious police protection, Wood said in an interview a week after she was assaulted. Bruises were still visible around her left eye. In July, Wood was part of a group of 26 residents representing 10% of the town who broke their silence to speak with CTV News about their health and safety concerns. Wood's name has also been linked to the anonymous complaint received by the CFIA of dead ostriches, which triggered an inspection and led to the discovery of H5N1 in the flock. Protesters yell at me, "This is all your fault. This is murder. I've never called CFIA. I haven't been in contact with them," Wood said during a Zoom interview, adding that she was able to handle the harassment but never thought it would result in a physical attack. "I thought I was going to be lit on fire." A masked man and a red jerry can. At least one police car has been parked near the road that leads to her home since September 22nd. That was the day the CFIA was set to euthanize more than 300 ostriches beginning as early as 4 a.m. Wood recalled hearing people at the protest camp moving equipment, preparing for the arrival of the CFIA and the RCMP. At 7 a.m., Wood, who lives alone, says she opened the screen door to the front porch to put some food out for her cat. That's when she saw a man wearing a balaclava, dressed in black, carrying a 5-gallon red jerry can. He was pouring gas all around the bottom of my steps, along the side of my house, all around my house, Wood said. She claims he reached into a pocket and reached into his pockets. Afraid she was about to be lit on fire, the retiree scrambled to her feet and pulled out her flip phone to call for help. CTV News has seen one video which has surfaced on social media feed of a UOF supporters showing Wood screaming at a man dressed in black. Sergeant Chris Clark of the RCMP's E Division in BC said in an email that medics treated a victim and investigated a report of an assault and arson attempted at a property neighboring the Universal Ostrich Farm shortly after their arrival on September 22nd. The suspect associated to the protest camp on the UOF was identified and arrested without incident, Clark said, adding that police have gathered evidence to present to the BC Prosecution Service to lay potential charges. UOF spokesperson Katie P declined to be interviewed for this story, but responded to questions over text. She described the people who are gathered at the farm as families, neighbors, farmers, and advocates standing together peacefully because they care about the truth, justice, and the well-being of living creatures. P said that Wood incident was handled quickly and promptly with us and that the people involved were removed quickly. She also characterized the reporting of the attack on Wood as a distortion of their fight. Now, that's just some of the article I chose I would read. Now, I'm, confused because, it was 400 birds, then it was 300 birds, and then they were saying all their birds were healthy, but then only, a couple had gotten hurt during all this COP process, but now they're down to 300. They're harassing people, RCMP's family members. They, are harassing different companies who are just doing their job. I get you may not like the call order or whatever. You may not like this. It's animal rights or whatever, but this goes deeper than so many of you know. And this isn't just a matter of healthy birds being called for no reason. This is putting other farms at risk, other birds at risk. I don't know. I have a mixed opinion of it, but I'm just going to say, before you jump on the bandwagon and support all this, please look deeper into it. No more facts. Look at the corruption and look at the behavior that some of these people are displaying that are out there. It goes deep. Thank you for listening.